two of my favorite things being judgmental and fashion. Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. It's the understatement of the year. As an attempt to keep things short and sweet, I've been taking a step back from YouTube after getting to a point where I just wasn't being consistent with videos, and the videos that I was uploading I just didn't feel super proud of, and like I really wanted you to see them, and I just felt like you deserved better than that as a viewer, and I wanted to give you better than that. Like, I don't want to be like a straight white man just giving you the bare minimum and like breadcrumbing just every now and then. I'm ready to be back now and excited. I hope you are too. I've just been pre-filming and editing videos and trying to get that back catalog just stocked up and full of content for you. So for my first video back, I, of course was feeling a bit of pressured, overthinking as I do, and I figured, you know what, why don't I just make a video that I have so much fun watching? It seems like even more fun to make. Talking about fashion that is currently trending this summer for 2023, what I like, what I don't like so much, but with a little twist because I am going to be ranking them on a tier list. I've just been waiting for an excuse to make one of these. I mean, let's just get straight down to business, shall we? As someone who enjoys both clothing and being chronically online, even though I think personal style will always come before anything, like I see the trends, right? I like some of the trends. I get sucked into some of the trends. For our tier list, I've broken it down into 5 different categories, starting off at the top of the pyramid with "You will always be famous." This is the tier for trends that I am happy are in and popular right now because I really like them and have been wearing them, and I actually wore them before they were a quote-unquote trend, and I will continue to wear them after a trend because I think they're so good they transcend the trend cycle. There it is. Moving on to the next category, we have let her cook. So these are trends that when I first started to see them pop up and people wearing them, I was a bit hesitant at first, like what's going on here, but as my rat brain does, the more I was exposed to them, the more I have grown to like them. And while I'm not completely sold on them in every form yet, I think by the end of the summer I'll probably have worn like all of these things because, they're growing on me. Fashion pilled, which this is a tier for the trends that are worn by people where like we know that you have a Pinterest account and can tell you are active on that thing, me being one of those people. This tier is different from "You will always be famous" though, in the sense that fashion pilled things are items that like I know that in a year and a half, 2 years from now, I'm gonna look back on photos and be like, why the fuck was I wearing that? Like, what did I think I was doing? Like, the trend cycle really got me. She did. We have our bottom 2 with "Not me, y'all stay safe." This is a category for things that I get how they're trending. I like them on other people. I see the vision. I just don't see that vision on me. And to finish this off, we have "National Security Threat." I think the name kind of speaks for itself with that one. I do not like these trends on myself or other people. I just don't get it, but the thing that I love about fashion and do get about it is that you get to wear what you want and what makes you feel comfortable and confident, and if it's one of these things, own your truth. Babe, just go on with it. These are my opinions though, and this is my video, and so I'm gonna give them. Okay, let's get into it now. I don't know why I was pretending to be nervous right there to spread some negativity, like, please. So to start us off, I have something that I know you have seen. These are literally inescapable at the moment, which is ballet flats. Now I can't sit here and act like when I first didn't start to see people wearing ballet flats, I had an actually like visceral reaction. I think in part to the flashbacks I was getting to like 2008, me in an Abercrombie denim miniskirt, way too short for elementary school, and like a leopard print ballet flat. I got at Payless for like $10. Not my personal shining moment. Well, I wouldn't wear every variation of these that I've seen. I mean, like, some people are literally wearing straight up point shoes and just calling them ballet flats. Overall, I like them. Like, I think they're cute, they're sweet, but it's in fashion pilled because like I don't need time for these to cook. Like, I'm in. I get it. I myself, like, I want the fucking tabbies. Like, I'm going to get my hands on them. But like 2 years ago, boxer style shorts or just straight up boxers, outfits styled around these have really started to pop up all over my Instagram in like especially the last month. I get the appeal of these, especially in the summer months when it is so boiling hot outside and you just want something that's like comfortable and easy and breathable, which I'm sure these are. It's just, my thing is that I'm not very into dressing casual, and these are like probably one of the most casual things that you could put on. I have really liked some of the ways that I've seen people styling them though, and the more I see, the more I'm liking them, and I'm sure especially on like a day after I maybe go out and I'm feeling not particularly amazing, aka hungover and fighting for my life, like a fun little outfit styled around these could be cute. Boxers, much like the summer weather, are simmering. Sizzling? It's not a good joke either way. You know her, you love her. Well, if you're like 99% of the people that I at least follow on Instagram, you love her. Floral appliques. This ranking is definitely a byproduct of me watching Sex and the City during my most like formative brain developing years and seeing the flower phase that Carrie went through in the show and just being obsessed with it ever since. It's also one of the more positive things about when things do trend is that if you've always liked them but they maybe weren't as accessible or easy to find because they weren't super popular, when they become popular, it's like, oh my god, I can't get enough, this is great, and I have enough now. I'm stocked and good to go, and will be good to go for the rest of my life, which is what I plan on wearing these for. Next up is, well, might be my first maybe potential hot take for this video, which is on prescription reading, well, prescription style of reading glasses. I'm still not quite sure if people are like actually wearing their prescription glasses out just in these frames or if it's just for the vibe. Either way, it's gonna be a national security threat with that one. I knew as soon as I saw Bella Hadid start to wear these around last year, I want to say that it was only a matter of time before they started popping up on my Instagram on some girls that I follow, and they have, and maybe it's just me being jealous that if I were to wear these, I would be serving like secretary, Midwest, librarian, substitute teacher core, like not in the way that Bella Hadid is doing it, but I just sequin tops, but specifically the sequin tops that look like the bags that tutu used to sell, that I at least would try and convince my mom she needed to buy me one of in every single color, like those sort of tops. I already know this is immediately going into fashion pills. I think these tops are so cute. I've seen them dressed up and also dressed down in ways that I really like. I actually have one of my own that I found at the thrift store like a month ago for literally $1. The thing is though that like I know I only even noticed the top because it'd been on my radar from seeing it all over my Pinterest, and if it hadn't been, I might not have even looked twice, but now that I have, like, I'm so in it. And I'm excited to be here in it, but I know that it's only because of my Pinterest account. Customizing your purse, a little DIY moment, or what TikTok has deemed the Jane Birkin effect. Cute, fun, a way for people to play around with their own kind of personalizations, and also a Jane Birkin reference, yet even with all of those things, not me. Y'all stay safe. I'm into it on other people, but whenever I've tried this for myself, I don't like it. I look in the mirror with my outfit and I'm just like, I wish these things weren't on my back. Like I just wish I left it alone. I don't know what that is within me. Next up, ooh, we have actually a little friend to join our floral appliques at the top of the pyramid with the color red. I mean, if you know me, I'm sure this comes as absolutely no surprise at all. Red clothing and accessories have been a staple in my wardrobe for a while now, and look at my hair. Like, I know we're talking about fashion trends, but tutu skirts, which much like ballet flats seem to fall under the umbrella of just like ballet core in general, coming back as a trend over the last like year, 2 years. Feeling fashion pilled with this one. Even though like the floral appliques, I was exposed to the tutu skirt from a young age because of Sex and the City, I wasn't always as obsessed with it as I was with the floral appliques. It's taken me seeing them styled in some really cool ways recently to convince me, specifically on Kim or Kimberyeet. If you don't follow her, obsessed is honestly an understatement for how I feel about Kim, and just Kim in general, but also her style. She is so fucking cool and creative, and the way that she has worn some of her tutu skirts, I mean, I literally went to the thrift store and found my own tutu skirts and have tried to recreate her outfits because she's just that girl. Exaggerated hair accessories, whether it's like a big bow or an oversized scrunchie. It's such an easy way to instantly elevate an outfit and make it a bit more interesting. But even with that being said, like the personalized bag, not me. Stay safe, y'all. I prefer my hair styled in a solid 2 different ways, and anything that strays outside of that, I just never end up leaving the house with. I bought a big scrunchie, I want to say a year ago, and have literally never worn it, even though I think it's adorable and I love the idea of it, but when it's actually on me, there aren't many things that scream 2010 quite like a peplum top does, and while I personally don't look back on 2010's fashion super favorably, it's coming back and some of its trends are coming with it, and peplum tops happen to be one of them. This is a shockingly, for me, let her cook moment. The idea that any 2010s trend was already making its way back around and into popularity is something I am a bit trepidatious of. Again, I don't exactly look back on that time as a high point as far as fashion goes. Peplum being one of my top offenders for what were we actually thinking when we decided to put this on our bodies, yet here I have found myself in 2023 seeing brands like Gani and Sandy Liang coming out with updated versions of peplum tops and really liking them. The trend cycle, while yes can be evil, can also, I mean, she put her whole pussy into re-innovating and reworking the peplum top in a way that the more I see, I'm just like, the more I want, the more I need to try it. Goddamn. Next up is any sort of track short or track Adidas style of pant. Pants? Pant. It's pants. A lot of the ways in which I've seen these styled recently have been paired with a Mary Jane or a ballet flat or even a kitten heel, almost like attempting to dress them up. One of my favorite fashion girls, and also the person in both of these photos, Lindsay, aka Linmick, has been wearing them a ton of different ways, and I am always obsessed with what she has going on, but I also think she's the kind of person who can just like pull off anything, and I am not one of those people, so I'm sure you can see where this might be going. Different from the boxers, which yes still have that casual vibe, these also on top of the casual vibe have a sporty element to them that is just really not for me. This next trend is going to be a real easy one for me, going straight to the top with "You will always be famous" motorcycle boots. Now, is a leather boot the most practical shoe for summer? No, but is it super cute? Yeah, and I mean, what's more important, practicality or being cute? Been wearing them, will continue to be wearing them. I don't even care if they seem a bit overdone at this point, which they're kind of starting to be. It's like every girl on my Instagram has a pair, and I'm one of them. Okay, brief intermission to put my hair up. It was pissing me off being down like that, so yeah. And speaking, actually, of things that piss me off, stealth wealth dressing. I started hearing this term being used around the time of both Gwyneth Paltrow's trial as well as Sophia Richie's wedding. It really just seems like a new way to describe the sort of old money aesthetic that involves wearing clothing that is very expensive but is not explicitly displaying how expensive it is with like a ton of logos. There's this sort of refined quality to this way of dressing that feels a lot more simple and leans into minimalism, which I don't know if you can tell. One thing about me, I would not describe myself as a minimalist. I don't really get it. Certain elements of the aesthetic seem low-key classist, and just, I don't know, nothing bothers me more than when someone who's super rich and has all of this money and access to, if they wanted to, buy like super cool, interesting, fun clothing and be involved in fashion, and instead they just buy like a $800 white t-shirt. Do more. I take that type of being boring personally. I do, and I think it's threatening. So of course this can be none other than a national security threat of the highest caliber. Moving on, we have sheer lace, or really any sort of sheer clothing item. This has been trending for a while now, but I feel like it's really at its peak with every person and brand fully embracing sheer at the moment. So many opportunities for styling with the sheer item, just incredibly versatile. I've seen some of my favorite layering like ever done with sheer, and so I'm tempted to put it into "You will always be famous," especially because at this point I have cut the lining out of about half of the items in my closet and made them sheer, and so it's kind of like I can't turn back now. If I really think about it though, when I first started to see sheer items, I did get a bit nervous because I just didn't know how I would incorporate them into my everyday wardrobe in a way that felt more wearable. It took me some convincing and a lot of screen time on Pinterest for this one, and so I think I gotta put sheer in fashion pills. Dressing like it's a 70s summer. So think lots of fringe, lace-up detailing, denim, bell sleeves, patchwork. As a person who, if you were to ask me what decade I draw the most fashion inspiration from, would answer with the 70s, this is a pretty easy answer for me. We're going right up to the top with You Will Always Be Famous. I am curious if the show Daisy Jones and the Six coming out this spring had any sort of impact on this style becoming more popular, because while I did find the show kind of overall to be a bit underwhelming, I did really love some of the fashion in it, especially on the drummer. I think his name is Warren. Yeah, had like the best looks. Also just him, me and who. I mean, staying on theme with the sort of 70s summer, we have crochet. I've seen crochet items styled in so many different ways and leaning into a variety of aesthetics, just one of them being the 70s, which, I mean, yeah, I'm partial to. Might be 2 in a row here for You Will Always Be Famous, at least in my wardrobe. Carrie Bradshaw and her influence strikes once again with this next trend of capri pants. Her personality might have been absolutely insufferable at times and something you should never want to emulate, but the fashion, she gotta hand it to her. She was onto something. I'm gonna let this one cook for a bit. I'm not completely sold on them. I don't actually even own a pair of capris. I am looking though and searching for the pair that I feel like is perfect for me. I just haven't found them yet, but I'm hoping I'll get lucky soon. Unconventional looking sneakers, Mary Jane, flat, hybrid sort of shoe. I don't know what you call these. These remind me of the shoes that the kids who were super into insects in elementary school would wear. I'm not knocking those kids, by the way. I think that's cute if your niche interest as a child was insects. I mean, mine was the French Revolution. Literally dressed up as Marie Antoinette for Halloween when I was 8. So like, who am I to judge? I really like when I see these on other people and they have that sort of ugly but in a fashionable way quality that I'm very into. I don't plan on wearing these, but I do support the ugly to cute pipeline that they endorse. And so for that, not me. Y'all stay safe. The next trend, I already know, with this one being denim maxi skirts, immediately going into fashion pills. There are 2 very specific genres of denim maxi skirts that I think of, one being the type of denim maxi skirts that like religious extremists wear, and then the type of denim maxi skirts that the fashion girls wear. I wasn't always into it, but I'm very into it now, so much so that I not only own denim maxi skirts, but I've actually made my own denim maxi skirt from a pair of jeans that I thrifted. Ooh, another trend that sort of falls under the 70s summer aesthetic, which is micro shorts. Whether they're denim or sort of terry cloth fabric material leather, which is actually the pair of micro shorts that I have. They're a recent hand-me-down from my friend's mom, and they're so cool, and they're from the 70s, and I think they're the sole reason that I'm considering participating in this trend. Let her cook seems like the most fitting category for micro shorts, because I'm not all in yet. I have one of those super fun insecurities that stems from my childhood about showing off a lot of my legs. I love the female experience. I'm gonna get over it though. I have to. I'm a 25-year-old woman, and I think micro shorts are gonna be my way to do that and fight back against societal beauty standards and heal my inner child. A little charm here, a little charm there. Charms are everywhere this summer. I've seen all sorts of charms start to pop up everywhere, and every time I love them, and I have always loved them. I mean, I had not just a silver, but also a gold Juicy Couture charm bracelet when I was in elementary school. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I was a nightmare growing up. How could I not be rocking that sort of ice on my wrist at 10? Come on. Definitely another You Will Always Be Famous moment. Okay, we're getting down to the last couple of trends. Next up being statement belts, and specifically belt stacking. This first came on my radar when I saw that Miu Miu runway show. You know the Miu Miu runway show that I'm talking about. I love a good statement belt, but this doubled up belt look is not super my thing, but I'm into it on other people and I get the vision. Yeah, okay. You know where it's going. And it feels good going there. Picture this, okay? The year is 2014. It's a 16-year-old Caroline who has about 16 Alex and Ani bangles on her wrist. So this next trend being bangles feels quite nostalgic for me. I worked at Nordstrom for a year in high school, and when I tell you I was using an employee discount to its fullest extent to get myself every Alex and Ani bangle that I could get my hands on. I do think I overdid it a bit when I was in high school and have been on a bracelet break ever since, but I'm intrigued by the bangle resurgence, and I could say let her cook because I don't have any bangles at this moment that I'm wearing, but that's only because I haven't found the right pair, and I think as soon as I do, I'll be back in my bracelet phase. In a stark contrast from micro shorts, we also have jorts trending, which I feel like there's a lot of variations actually of shorts trending this summer, which, wow, Caroline shorts trending in the summertime, how groundbreaking. But I do feel like this year more than ever, it feels like there's more styles that are popular. Got another case of being fashion pilled with these, which I did think at first when I started seeing jorts they were ugly, and I do still think they're ugly, but I just now think they're ugly in the fashionable way. And last but certainly not least, we've made it to the final trend I'm going to be talking about in this video. I've referenced 2010s fashion a couple of times, but you cannot talk about the resurgence of trends from the 2010s without mentioning the indie sleaze aesthetic. I think these photos encapsulate the trend better than any words I could say would. I was a little too young at the time of indie sleaze's peak to be able to fully embrace it, but I remember never fully being a fan of the fashion aspect of the trend, and even less of a fan of the just cultural aspect of it. You can't really talk about indie sleaze and not talk about the horrifying body and diet culture that came with it. Just a lot of glorification of one very specific body type, which isn't exclusive to just the indie sleaze aesthetic, but is definitely a very prominent part of it. If I'm just talking about the fashion of indie sleaze, I would say it's more of a not me, y'all stay safe sort of thing, but I don't know if with this aesthetic there is a way to separate the two. I wish there was, and I wish that I had more confidence in society and culture at the moment to be able to make that separation and have a kind of like 2023 inclusive, accepting twist on this trend, but I don't know if I can. I've been seeing a lot of worrying conversations online and in content about bodies recently. Not trying to end this video on such a negative note. I think for the better of society though, this is my public service act by putting indie sleaze as a national security threat. Like, for real. We need to be cautious. We need to be looking after ourselves. So with that, I think that is going to be the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed watching this. I really enjoyed making it. I forgot how much I loved filming YouTube videos. Any thoughts, comments, opinions you have on the trends that I talked about, please let me know in the comments. I miss seeing your comments and gabbing with you, gabbing with my girls back and forth. I'm so excited to be doing it again. I've officially been talking for long enough, so I will see you next time.